Unboxing this Kachaya guitar bag for 41-inch guitars. It's called the CY0244. Now let's first take a look, and it's also 18 millimeters in terms of the cushioning. So let's take a look at this here. It says the same thing, and it also says that this bag is not a toy. I ordered this to be able to busk on the streets with my Fender. This is the Fender I will be putting into this bag. It also has a model number, which is the CA360SCEMAT, in case you're interested. The main factor seems to be the height of the guitar, which in my case seems to be, I think, 41-inch or 40-inch, which means that it still fits in. There is also another option available, which is, I think, bigger, or not for this one at least. So I previously ordered a lighter version of exactly also this bag, but it had the problem that it did not open up. So in terms of busking, it makes sense that the bag fully opens up, so basically it flaps open, if this is a word. So let's unpack the bag. This bag cost €42.99. The previous bag I had, which did not flip open, I think flipping is the proper word, did cost €26, but also, or €27, but also because I bought it refurbished, whereas this one is new, because there was no refurbished option available. I bought this from Amazon, and let's take a look at the bag itself. On the bottom we already find these two kind of stands, which are made out of rubber material. Then it already begins to kind of feel a little bit thicker compared to the other one. So there are guitar cases which are just very thin, and the other one was 10 millimeters thick according to the Amazon page. And this one should be 18 millimeters thick. I also have a guitar bag for my other guitar, which also probably has a thicker cushioning. So now let's open this up. This is what it comes in. And the question is whether I can even open it up. So I decided to not try to pull this one out, but to now open it fully up, which is now possible. So the other one did only open up till here. It was cheaper, but I think it was only cheaper because I bought it refurbished. Otherwise, it also would have cost, I think, 40 or 50 euros. And now this already feels way better compared to the other one. It already feels way thicker. There are these, well, guitar bags that also are just, that don't have a cushioning at all, so they are not even 10 millimeters, but they are just like, almost like a jacket. But this is not something like this. Now, in terms of traveling, this still might not be enough. If I put this into a bus, for example, and basically together with other suitcases, then this might not be something that I would do with the guitar. So my guitar is worth, I think, around 360 euros, at least if I would have to buy it new. And so, of course, this is quite a consideration that if I throw it not under the bus, but into the bus suitcase packaging area, this might be a potential risk to the guitar. So now let's take a look at the case itself. So I have another case which here has kind of a card, which also would be something that is useful. This here is the case or the rucksack that I have. It's made by Rocktile, and it's for my Ibanez. My Ibanez is a concert guitar, which means it's a little bit shorter. This is what I've used for busking for now a couple of days, apart from me taking the Fender with the normal case I have with me. And as the other version of the lighter version of this arrived, which I did then compare to this, I noticed that this is way thicker and feels way more secure, and the other one, especially for my kind of bedroom guitar, was then not very suitable and also did not fully open up. I will nonetheless use this kind of as the comparison gold standard, because I think this is a very well-made guitar case, and I've had it for years and I've never had problems with it. But in terms of now taking this guitar with me, I never had the option, because I only have this case here, which is also fine. I think it's made by Thomann, which is a German music store and manufacturer. I only had the problem that this fell from basically in the apartment. It fell basically down because I stuffed it up there, because I do not have that much space. So let's take a look again at this here. So we find, first of all, this here. This is a very big pocket. There are no additional latches on here which would allow you to put this up and down, compared to at least the other guitar case I have. This is maybe already a little bit of a downside. An upside is that it is fully black, which I really much appreciate. So now here we have kind of a bag, which is mostly, I think, for putting in something like a tripod or something like a stand, which in my case will not fully fit in, but I do have this method of putting it in the bottom, in this bottom bag or pocket, and then having it attached on the upper side here. So this is probably not something I will fully use. Now we have this back pocket here, and there is also now a front pocket, which is not very accessible, at least for my hands, so I cannot really fit my hands in there, but the pocket goes down till here, so I don't really know what to use this for. I previously put my Capodestra as well as maybe a tuner in here, but then the question is, how do I access, maybe by having it like this and by trying to now get it out. So this is a potential problem, especially since this seems to be even narrower compared to the other case I have for my Fender, not for my Fender but for my Ibanez. On the bottom now we find that there is this very big bag, but what we also find is, and I did not take a look at this maybe, but I needed this case, and it was kind of the only, not case, but rucksack that sold for this guitar, at least on Amazon, and that also was fully black, so I just ordered this case. So it does not have a front pocket, which is already kind of a big downside, because, well, an additional pocket would have been useful. Nonetheless, this is kind of the closest match I could find, so I probably then won't have a front pocket, and at least if I take my tripod, not my tripod, but my stand with me, then I don't have an additional pocket in which I could potentially put things in, but I can only use this pocket. Now, this is already kind of a big downside, but the other cases on Amazon I looked at were not 18 millimeters. There is also a case that sells that also has kind of these latches for using it as a rucksack on them, which probably would be the long-term solution, but this was 50 euros or 52 euros, and the case was 110 euros. What I made on the streets busking for the last couple of days was 36 or 35 euros, and so this was an investment that was not already worth taking. So I first of all got this now to be able to at least take my Fender onto the streets, which sounds way better. There is kind of this, which you probably saw already, there is kind of this attachment or securing mechanism for these here, for the straps. So now I will put on the case, the guitar bag for the first time, and it actually seems alright. There are also these are fairly long, I would say, but that's okay. So obviously I will then put in the guitar as the video continues, but let's first of all take a look at the rest. So we also have this here, which one could use. My other guitar case, my other guitar bag has additionally a thing to be able to hold it up somewhere, which this does not have, but well, it's the best, I think. So I looked through a couple of pages of Amazon results, and this was kind of the best. And it also, at least the best in terms of matching my criteria, it also has this fairly thick cushioning. According basically to Amazon, this is 18 millimeters, as I already mentioned. Now what we do again not have, or we do have it, very luckily, I already was kind of almost disappointed. So we have this attachment, or this cushion here, which apparently can also be opened up. I don't know what will be in there. So this is for securing basically the neck of the guitar, and if I then have the neck of the guitar, I then can take this and put it up here, which ideally then makes the guitar more secure in it. We also have this Velcro fastener here, which I now will attach. So this apparently then can also be adjusted up and down. So let's also maybe take a look at what is actually inside here. If one can open this up, then one sees that in here we just find this material, and something to be expected. Maybe if this over time degrades, one can then exchange it. So let's put it maybe in here, and then we also have this holder here, which on my other guitar case is somewhat with a rubber made also, which probably is in the long term also a little bit better, but I take what I can get, and so this is the case that's sold. There are also these air ventilation things on the back here, which probably are better if one does have this on for a very long time. Now, in terms of running around in the city, especially then when busking or between sets, a guitar rucksack or a guitar bag like this seems to make very much sense. So now I will put in the guitar, and that's the moment we have all been waiting for. There is also Additionally, this up here, which the smaller version or the lighter version of this case did not have, and this here is, I think, to secure or to kind of protect this material here from degrading too soon, because this is then where the strings attach, and the strings probably and these attachments probably otherwise would kind of get into this material. Now let's put the case in. I moved a few steps back in order to allow that I can actually show this on camera. So this is then what it looks like if it is fully in. It's just the right size, I would say. It's even a little bit bigger, on the bigger side. I will maybe not put the attachment yet in. And let's now ideally close this whole thing up. The video is also overexposed because of so much black in the picture. And it closes. That's kind of the moment I have been waiting for. So now I will kind of transition all of the other elements from the other guitar case to this, and this is also then already what will be the use case for me. So this is what it looks like, and let's maybe now first put it onto the back and see if this is something that's similar to the other one. Now my guitar, so the Fender is a little bit bigger compared to the other guitar, and so I would say it's still, it is almost unnoticeable that it is a different size. So I could maybe put it side by side, but obviously the guitars are just a little bit different in terms of size. So now I will transfer all of the elements over. So I do have this here, and this here is now, or actually maybe I make a separate video about this, because well, this is mostly about the guitar bag, and for people who are not interested in the busking part, then this is what it looks like, and that's the end of the story.